Hey gamers, how are you guys doing today? Huh? Are you ready to get spooked? Because that's what's gonna happen. Probably. We're probably going to be able to finish the chapter today. So, pretty interesting. Yeah. Oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, East, are you ready? I'm not ready. I think bad things. I'm ready for another day of everything being normal. You keep believing that. You keep believing that. One of us has to have hope, right? So, loading. End of chapter 11. Oh. I also added another noise that you can send, which is a realistic knocking. So, you can pay 500 bits to see me extremely terrified. oh yeah, it was during the rain. It was, the, Rena kinda, was outside of our, window. So, that's what happened last time. Not very fun. I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't get any sleep. I tried to stay awake all night, but there were definitely gaps in my memory. So, either from trauma or from just, you know, going to sleep, yeah. I guess I kept nodding off and jerking awake in a panic all night. Spent all night hugging the metal bat and sat on top of the futon I used to barricade my door. Oh, Keiichi. Oh, I'm so sorry, boy. Hugging a metal bat, though, that must have been really uncomfortable. I mean, if it was a wooden bat, it would probably be better, but. Ooh. Waiting, watching just in case someone tried to break through my window. Wow. If I left this spot, someone would break through the door, sending the futon flying and attack me. But if I stopped watching the window, someone would break through the glass and attack me. I tried telling myself I was just being paranoid, but couldn't sleep. Thought of being so vulnerable scared the living daylights out of me. If sleep meant taking that risk, I didn't need it. Oh, that's so tough to live with. It was so much better to just stay awake. At some point during that endless cycle of nodding off and jolting awake, light began to shine outside, but that was it. It wasn't so much the morning as it was just the sun simply having risen. Oh, yeah, because you didn't sleep. It's like a peek out through the curtains. Rena was gone. Couldn't see her anywhere, no matter how hard I looked. Finally, I could breathe a deep sigh of relief. The night was finally over. Ah, okay. You could have probably checked throughout the night to see if Rena was still there, and then you could maybe calm down a little bit. But no, it's fine. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired, but I didn't feel like sleeping at the moment. I still had time. But I needed to make my own breakfast, so I'd better get started soon. Skipping school was also an option. It's more than an option at this point. It's like, with my mom gone, it'd be easy to play hooky. Honestly, I debated it. Oh, you're still going to school? Dude, I would not. No way. The risk involved in leaving my house was incalculable. So staying holed up in here was probably my safest option. Yes, I agree 100%. But staying here wouldn't solve anything. But it'd keep you safe, baby. Hoishi-san wouldn't help me without a cold, hard evidence. Oh. Okay, right. Neither he nor my parents. So, unless I found some sort of proof, these restless nights would never end. Stretched out my body, tilted my head back, and closed my eyes just like I did every morning. Even though you're extremely tired, probably have crazy bags under your eyes. Regulated my breathing and regained my senses. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. Let's go to school. He's probably said his own name more than other people have said it. Just him talking to himself. Let's wait until they set their trap for me. But that didn't mean I was just going to twiddle my thumbs. I needed to avoid that trap, secure irrefutable evidence. Take note of the plates of any car that drives by. If I see someone suspicious, check their clothes and face. I wasn't just protecting myself, I was preparing myself to turn their attack against them and retaliate. The tension was similar to when two samurai were both aiming to slay each other with a single motion as they drew their katanas. I was not at a disadvantage. I would have a chance to retaliate. Finally felt a bit of courage growing in my chest. Yes, you could do it! You could do it! Alright, let's go to school. Tightened my grip on Satoshi's bath. He was the only partner I could count on. Oh, even though, yeah, I guess he's like a brother in arms in terms of like he also disappeared. Gosh dang it! I forgot to turn those heckin' steam things off. Does anyone know how to do that actually? How do I turn steam overlay off? Bro, East, you got me, bro. How do you turn steam overlay off? I've been needing to turn it off for a while, but I never knew how. How do I... Settings? Overlay. Okay, I think I did it. Okay, shouldn't have any more interruptions then. Satoshi isn't as cool as Bat-kun. Satoshi is Bat-kun. Satoshi's like dead or gone or something. Bat-kun is all that is like anyone remembers from him anymore. Big sad. Satoshi, please lend me your strength. Satoshi from beyond. And entrust your dying regrets to me, since you were probably murdered. I like how that's in like brackets, because we don't know, but most likely he was probably murdered. I'll make sure I dispel them. With renewed resolve, I checked the clock. It was still early. Of course, I was going to school by myself today. If I didn't want to run into Ren or Mion, I needed to leave now. Go, go, go. Rush, rush, rush. Shattered fragments of the cupboard were still strewn all over the entryway. Right. I meant to clean that up last night, but never got around to it with the phone call and everything. Matt-kun is the bat itself. But like Satoshi's spirit is inside of it, you know? You know, his memory. If my parents came back and saw this while I was at school, I would never hear the end of it. You could just say that, like, you saw a spider on the cupboard, so you just went ham on it. I feel like that would be a good solution. Still, I'd be wasting my time if I cleaned it up right now, considering what would happen if I ran into Ren on my own. It wouldn't be too late to clean it up after I got home. Making extra certain that the doors were locked, I left the house. Bat-kun versus Gun-sung. Dude, I think everybody knows that Gun wins everything, but Keiichi with a bat is like a force to be reckoned with. My uniform was still covered in mud from yesterday, so I left it in the washer. Today I was going to go to school in my tracksuit. By wearing a different outfit this morning, my mind was forced to accept that today was different from yesterday. I had a hunch. Yeah, it's different in many ways. It's different because 1, he's ready, you know? 2, he has a weapon, so... Today might be the day I get killed. Oh, no. So he has an extra bad feeling today. Keep your guard up, Keiichi Maibara. The only one who gets to decide if today is my last is me. Yes. Yes, you can do it. Oh, this music. I can't tell if it's like... Because in this context, the music could be very sad. Oh! Spent the morning practicing my swings like it was my natural routine. After a while, Ren arrived at school. Our eyes met, but we said nothing. Oh, yeah! Oh, we're getting progress. Usually Ren is like, oh, hey, Keiichi. Oh, I'm so glad. She's just ignoring me. Us, Keiichi, whatever. Ren said nothing about last night, as if it never happened, of course. But I could see that those events were real by the wounds carved into her fingers. Oh. I just heard her Satoko... telling Satoko and the others that the bandages were from hurting herself in the kitchen. Though it wasn't like it bothered me. Oh, yeah, you don't have to really feel guilty about somebody being that creepy to you. The details that Oishi-san shared about Rena's incident before her transfer played vividly in my mind. Now that I knew about it, I couldn't even dream of Rena as a cute, ideal girl. Yeah. Oh, Kei-chan, I see you're still aiming for the nationals. It was Mion. I'd already sensed her approach, so I wasn't that surprised. Yeah, we can sense things like that now. Oh, Mion, if you understand, then leave me alone. I'm busy practicing. Gave her a curt reply without my usual jokes. How much of Higurashi have you watched? I watched a full first season. I haven't watched anything of the second season. So, like, I know some things, but it was a long time ago. But I will say that the first 4 episodes, meaning this whole arc, was my favorite, so I rewatched those pretty frequently. So I kind of know everything that's probably going to happen in this first arc. But I'm still like, things could be different because, the anime didn't show everything. But then again, it gave a bat an even a larger swing, tactically keeping Mion from getting any closer. Hey, Kei-chan, take it easy. I think Mion got the message, but she still urged me to give it a rest. Homeroom's not that far off, is it? Just let me finish practicing. Swung the bat even harder as my sign of refusal. Yeah, you don't want to get too close. You don't want to get too close. You should have seen what happened to that cupboard yesterday. Hey, Chan, when did you get into baseball? Just recently. Recently? You mean yesterday? Don't ask if you already know. Oh, dude. Kei-chan is having none of it. Oh dear. That's a very unsportsmanlike reply. You're distracting me. Go away. I ignored Mion and kept swinging. Yeah, so I'm not like too surprised with what's happening, and like my responses and reactions are a little, I kind of know what's going to happen. But I'm still very excited because I love reading the full thing out. You know? Normally she'd get mad or bored and leave if someone gave her a cold shoulder like this. Mion just stood there, waiting patiently for me to stop swinging. I didn't sense any hostility, but we were still at school in plain view. Yeah, so she still has to put on the front. I doubt she'd suddenly attack me here. Or was that too naive? Still, I was starting to get tired. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to take a break and hear her out. You need me for something, right? What is it? Sweat poured from me as soon as I stopped swinging. I noticed my shoulders were heaving as I breathed. He's so out of, yeah. I cursed my lack of exercise. At this rate, I might not be able to move as needed when the time came. Should probably keep practicing my swings to build stamina in addition to the excuse for carrying a bat around with me. Well, it's nothing important. You're tired. I can ask again later? Now it's fine. I'm only dealing with you right now because I judge this situation to be safe. Talking to you alone and away from the others, that's out of the question. Well, Mion was uncharacteristically trying to choose her words. But unlike Oishi-san, it didn't look like she was going to talk about something I'd rather not hear. Mion was puzzled, trying to find the right thing to say. What, she gonna confess or something? What's going on? But then she gave a hearty laugh to break herself out of that mire. What is she doing? This old man's just no good at this stuff. Having a poor vocabulary hurts. What's this all of a sudden? If you have something to say, just say it. That wasn't my notification. Was it? No. Stop it. Stop that swinging. She cut straight to the point. Her requests were so frank, I didn't understand it for the moment. I had already stopped swinging to listen to her, hadn't I? I just stopped, didn't I? That's not what I meant. I want today to be the last day you swing that bat. I'm sorry. It took me some time to understand what she was asking for. What's wrong with swinging a bat? Dude, Everyone seems to be having a problem with your bat swinging. Maybe you just have poor figure. You have poor posture. Or poor form, yeah. Why? It's none of your business, is it? I'm not bothering anyone, am I? You are. Mion said it flat out. It didn't make any sense, and that was really irritating. When did I bother anybody? Mion was at a loss for words. She finally made up her mind and spoke, though she stuttered as she said it. Because keiichi, that's somebody else's bag. You shouldn't borrow it without permission. It was left behind by a student transferred, right? I'm just borrowing it until he comes back for it. Yeah, he won't come back anytime soon, and she knows that. She knows. Huh? Yeah, he transferred. Mion grew uncharacteristically flustered. He made it all too clear that his transfer was a lie. But strange, isn't it, for the older brother to transfer by himself, while his little sister stayed behind? Mion couldn't hide her reaction as my words shook her up. Oh yeah! Dude, I feel like Keiichi's finally getting the upper hand for once. Oh my god. Kei-chan, you knew? Satoshi Hojo, Satsuko's older brother, right? The one demoned away last year? Unable to respond to that, Mion fell silent. Rena asked the same thing. Why did you start swinging that bat? Dude, so Mion doesn't know as much as Rena does? Maybe? Rena's been the one that's doing all the stalking, and so Mion's been behind. She told me that Satoshi did the same thing, practicing his swings, right before he went missing. So, is this kind of omen for Oyashio-sama's curse? Shh. Mion panicked and looked around. Please, Kei-chan, don't mention Oyashio-sama so recklessly. I don't believe in him, but the others very much do. Rena especially. Dangerously so? Okay. It has an anime original arc? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the season 2, so maybe I can actually experience something I haven't seen before. But I haven't rewatched season 1 in a long time, so after this I'll probably be pretty blind. Anyway, you're scaring everyone. If you're just fooling around, then stop it. You have to stop acting like Satoshi. I was the one who was scared. Who do I have to thank for taking up this bat in the first place? It still unsettled me knowing that my actions were overlapping with Satoshi's. It would be one thing if someone suggested it, but I thought I was making my own decisions. I'll say this now. I don't know anything about Satoshi. After all, you didn't tell me anything about him. Yeah! Dude, Satoshi is, like, winning this conversation with Mion right now. Oh my god. We didn't mean to hide it. You were hiding the incidents that happened every year, weren't you? That's because we didn't want to, you didn't want to scare me? That's your reason for leaving me out? No, we didn't mean to. Mion, I asked you directly if something happened at the dam, didn't I? And you told me nothing happened? When someone was dismembered and murdered? You lied to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. Oh, sure, Mion. Oh, sure. Friends don't hide things from each other, right? Keiichi, you can't say that, can you? Not anymore. Isn't that right? Then you all aren't my friends. Kei-chan, Mion looked helpless and flustered. Was I imagining the tears in her eyes? Never could have imagined Mion acting like this. Oh, by the way, those get well mochi you brought the other day? They were good. Thought I was going to bleed. Who did it? You? Or Rena? Oh my god! Oh my god, this is good. This is so good. Me? She admitted it so easily. Couldn't help but be surprised at how easy that was. You could have killed me. How could you do that to a friend? But it was just a little prank. Oh my god, you cannot blow that off as a prank. You cannot blow that off as a prank. Oh my god. Guys, it was just a little prank. Oh, shut up, Mion. Oh my god. Hold on. Yeah, that's such BS. Mion gave me a wry smile mixed with confusion, causing even more anger to well up inside of me. I know, dude. They literally pulled "it's just a prank." You know, if YouTube existed during this. Oh heck. Hold on. Let me go fix something. I think my audio is a little messed up. Oh heck. Yeah, give me like 2 seconds. Oh gosh, freaking. I'll be right back. I think. What's up, gamers? I'm back. It's so weird. I don't hear any audio, which kind of sucks because I see like epic needle in mochi prank. Gone wrong, got caught. That's good. Well, let me. It's like you guys hear things. I don't hear anything. Hold on. Let me. How long has audio been happening in the game and me not hearing it? Gosh dang it. I can hear the game audio. Well, I know you can't, East. I see the audio things going up and down, but I don't hear anything. Let me try something real fast. Okay, I hear it now. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that music is. Oh my god. That makes everything so much better. I can't believe I haven't been hearing it. Jesus. A good thing I fixed it now instead of later figuring out. Oh, I love it. It's so ominous. It's so good. You think that was a prank? I grabbed Mion by the collar and lifted her up. Oh! Okay, hold on. Keiichi, you might be going a little too far because this is assault in a public place. You probably need to wait till after school to be able to start doing this. Just, probably. That wasn't the same as putting Tabasco sauce in a piece of mochi. It was a needle. A sewing needle. If I had swallowed that and it lodged in my throat, what did she think would happen? Mion's face froze as her body rattled in fear. This wasn't the same Mion Sonozaki I knew anymore. Anyways, you're not my friend. There's no reason for me to listen to someone who's not my friend. So just leave me alone for a while. Got it? Mion wasn't replying anymore. It won't be that easy to erase me, you know. Cops have been on you from the— oh, that's Keiichi. The cops have been on you from the start, so don't think you can make me disappear like you did Satoshi. I said it clearly. This was my declaration of war. I think you guys are suspects in previous incidents too. I also know you spent a lot of time with the cops ever since the anti-dam movement. Don't you think you can hide it from me? Don't think you can hide it from me. Got that? How? How did you know? Mion stood there with a dumbstruck look on her face. That was when I heard the principal ringing the bell for school. It's time for the morning homeroom. Let's go. Class representative needs to be there, right? That moment, for the first time, realized Mion was sobbing as tears ran down her cheeks. You're so mean, Kei-chan. I wanted to console her, but I shut my mouth. I had no need to feel guilty. I'm going. Don't be late for homeroom. I left Mion still shaking as I turned around to head for the entrance. I had no idea how troubling it was to make a girl cry. Behind my back, you could hear her muttering. It was a faint mutter, as if she was speaking to herself. Probably cursing him under her breath. So that's how it is. Huh? Wait, who's speaking? She wasn't saying it to anyone. Oh, that's what she. Oh, so that's how it is. Oh, that's bad. It was Mio talking to herself, but it was a sobbing voice that had a kind of giddy, cursing tone. I inadvertently stopped, turned back towards her. So it was that bastard. He leaked it all to Kei-chan. She balled up her fists as her tears continued to rain down. Oh no! Are they gonna kill Oishi-san? She glared at the spot of the ground with a terrifying yet smiling face, cursing. Chill ran down my spine as from that demonic expression. This transformation, Mion's transformation, was different from Rena's. I should have killed him back then. Forgot the mercy I showed him just because he was going to retire this year. Oh, retiring this year. She talking about Oishi-san? Damn it. I'm going to kill that damn old man. Felt like the air itself has begun distorting. Mion at the center, the world had begun to twist and spiral, bending, whirling. This was the first time I'd experienced such a visage. Oh, is she still gonna go to school after that? Full of, like, bloodlust. Rise! Attention! Mion made an excuse for her red eyes by saying there was something wrong with her contacts. Or she could have just said she was smoking it up. After that, neither Rena nor Mion spoke to me for the rest of the day. Neither Satoko nor Rika-chan looked me in the eye. Strangely, I didn't feel hurt. Everything had just went back to the way it was. The months since I transferred in had been almost too much fun. That was all. School was supposed to be something like this to begin with. Should have disliked that feeling, but today felt oddly refreshing. Finally, he can actually calm down. The bell rung, sounding the end of the monotonous school day, which had felt so tense yet so dull. Since it would cause a lot of unpleasant memories if they asked me to join into the club activities, promptly started preparing to go home without even looking at them. Stuffed the contents of my desk in my bag, wrapped my hand around Satoshi's now familiar back, and began heading toward the entrance. I was isolated. I was isolated by both the exhausting relief that nothing had happened today and the tiring possibility of the same thing repeating tomorrow. But deep down inside me, far beneath, in the recesses of my heart, achingly, I knew this would be the last day of this cycle. How does he know? How he could just tell? Couldn't tell how the ending would be, whether it would end as I wished it to end, or if it would end as I hoped it wouldn't. Regardless, in my current state, there was something more important than how things would end. There was something I wanted to know. Why did I have to be killed? How did it come to this? Why? For what purpose? The sunlight was relentless. The sun, the heat, even the air. They wouldn't give me my answers. Could it be the cries of the Higurashi were desperately trying to tell me something? Somewhere, mixed in with their shrieks, Tomotaki-san and Satoshi were also probably trying to tell me something. Simply haven't been able to realize it yet. When do I realize it? I wonder if it would be amongst the Higurashi fruitlessly crying to the next victim. Going down at my feet, I saw Higurashi on its back, spasmically weakly. Oh, the symbolism. There's still much of the summer left, yet this one was already chirping its last song. I couldn't tell what it was saying, no matter how hard I listened. But I had to try. I had to try to listen to what it was desperately trying to tell me. Bro, he's starting to see things. Oh god. That moment, the shrills of the Higurashi ceased all at once, as if they had huddled together, fearing that the person who'd brought them to their dreadful fate had arrived. There was no mistaking it. Rena? Presence was approaching. The sound of footsteps was almost non-existent. If the Higurashi hadn't warned me by ending their chirping, I wouldn't have noticed. My exhaustion left me in a heartbeat, and in its place was a rush of adrenaline that sharpened all of my senses. I was just barely able to hold back that creeping, suffocating feeling of horror. wasn't something I could hold back for long. But in the moment when I needed to be razor sharp, I was able to retain my composure. Oh, I can feel that. I wasn't going to shout like I did yesterday. I hid myself calmly amongst the trees, waiting for my pursuer's shadow. Could I get them to pass by me? No. Since I was able to hear their footsteps, they were probably also able to hear mine. They might have already been able to tell that I'd hidden myself and was holding my breath. The person tailing me, was it Rena, just like yesterday? If it was Rena, I wouldn't hold back. I could just yell at her and make her go ahead like yesterday. If it wasn't Rena, it would depend on how they acted, I guess. Footsteps ambled closer. I swallowed, wiped my clammy hands on my pants, and readjusted the grip on my bat. On the bat, not my. I could tell that the fear that I had beaten back once was now waiting for another opening to come at me. Who could it be? I peeked out from behind the trees at the person following me. Of course. Of course, it's Rena. My imagination hadn't led me astray. It was Rena. There was a bit of relief as I realized it was someone I knew, but that feeling left me in an instant. This wasn't the same Rena I knew. Her eyes were dark and lifeless. Her mouth appeared as if it was carved into a crescent. Yes, looks like if she was grinning slightly. Oh, ah! And in her right hand was an axe. Oh god. I hid myself behind the tree once again and recalled the unbelievable sight I just saw. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, so Rena has an axe. But we have a bat. I don't think a bat can win against many things. An axe. No, I don't think so. She's just chopping wood. In her demonic form? Sure. Yeah, because normal Rena wouldn't be able to chop wood. We all know that. What was that just now? The embodiment of terror laid bare? Baseball, practicing my swing, there were tons of excuses for me to be carrying a bat. But for that axe, there was no excuse for that. As to get that Kenta-kun, I know. Keiichi-kun, are you playing hide and seek, I wonder? Oh heck, I've skipped it. No. I know, yeah. My heart was pounding, hard enough that I had trouble breathing. What little composure I had been able to hold on to was now crushed. In its place, cold sweat gushed forth, covering my entire body, letting me know precisely what kind of emotion had taken hold. Not good, not good, not good. I wasn't able to hide myself completely. She already knew I was here. Are you trying to scare me, I wonder? I decided it would be better to reveal myself now, since there was still space between us, than to allow Rena to come any closer. I adjusted the grip of my bat again, readied myself mentally, and stepped out from behind the tree. Yeah, you don't want her to get closer to you, because she probably already knows you're there, like 90%. I found you, Keiichi-kun. Rena was pleased that she found me, eliciting a mysterious giggle. Her mouth was smiling, but her eyes told me she was displeased with the fact that I had been hiding. Those eyes, they were just so empty. My legs began to quiver. Ugh, not good. Yeah, I think out of all of the things here, all the things that have happened, Rena, as like a person, is the most scary thing so far. In the pit of my stomach, some sort of vicious, hot and cold substance began spreading around. If I allowed it, that substance would slip into my bloodstream and undoubtedly freeze all the organs in my body. Not good, not good. I'll be devoured by Rena at this rate. Strike back. Don't lose. What is it? I blustered, hiding behind my bravado. But Rena didn't flinch one bit. Just the same as Keiichi-kun. I'm heading home. And what about that axe? Then what about that bat you're holding? Dude! Oh my god. A bat is completely different than an axe, dude. I'm practicing my swing. Then I'm treasure hunting. Oh my god, Rena. Rena gave a flippant explanation as to why she had such a fearsome weapon. Treasure hunting?
At the treasure mountain near the dam site, I found a new cute thing. So I needed this to dig it out.
How could I believe that?
You wouldn't believe it, would you?
Rena's laugh was obviously very strange. I'd seen Rena's transformation many times before, but the one today was completely different. Like a mischievous tone and the shoot glint in her eyes. It wasn't something that roundabout. I'm not sure what to say, it was just so obvious.
Wait, Keiichi-kun.
Oh my god. Rena didn't stop walking, even as she left out that eerie laugh. Whenever Rena got too close to me, I would scurry away and turn back towards her. The cycle repeated over and over. No matter how you looked at it, I was being chased by Rena and was trying to escape. Don't follow me!
I can't do that. My house is this way, after all.
Oh god, I think I hate Rena, actually. When I met with Rena on this road yesterday, she cowered and trembled as she followed my commands. But today was different. Rena didn't show a hint of trepidation. Actually, wasn't I the one who was cowering? Yes, you are. If the way home for Rena was the same as me, that's fine. I just changed my route. That'd work out, wouldn't it? Turned onto a street I've never been down and knew little about. Oh, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. But Rena saw me do that and followed me while laughing. Why? Why? Aren't you going home? Then just go down the street that you normally do. Why would you follow me down this weird little side road? Those thoughts screamed in my head, eventually spilling out of my mouth. Why are you following me? I know my voice was already tinged with terror. Yeah, she can literally smell fear. Keiichi.
Because I want to talk to Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-kun wants to talk to Rena too, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
I don't want to talk about anything with you.
It's a lie, isn't it? There's something you want to ask me about, isn't there?
Not at all. I have nothing to talk to you about.
That's a lie, isn't it?
It's not a lie.
Lies!
Rena's scream echoed, startling some nearby words in flight. You know, it would be neat if, like, I was in a soundproof room and could go all out. Because, like, you know, the dream, I would be able to do that. But, sadly, I have roommates. I cringed in fear. The only other thing I could do was increase my pace.
Let's talk, Keiichi-kun. Talk.
Why was I running down this unfamiliar and deserted street?
Doesn't Keiichi-kun have something he's worried about?
Oh yes, we're very worried about you, Rena, okay? Nothing at all. I'm not worried about anything.
Lies!
Even though I was running, even though Rena was walking. Oh my god, East! No, that's good. She just wants to ask him a question. Ah! Oh no. Well, that's great. Why wasn't I getting any farther away?
I know. I really do know. You're scared, aren't you, Keiichi-kun?
I'm not scared. As he says in his scared tone. I'm not scared of anything.
Lies!
My breathing grew heavy and it felt like my legs were giving out from beneath me. Rena wasn't even breaking a sweat.
I'll listen. This time I'll listen.
I had no idea what she was talking about or what exactly she wanted to do.
This time I'll listen. It will be different from the time with Satoshi-kun.
What? When she said Satoshi's name, I turned back for a moment. But even as I did that, Rena was still advancing. Couldn't afford to stop. Just keep going.
Satoshi-kun was worried too. It looked like he was having such a hard time. But I didn't listen. I was so sad.
Where did the street connect to? All these twists and turns, ups and downs? It's hard to believe that this was even remotely in the direction towards my house. Oh god, he's getting so lost. My sense of direction had long since gone out the window.
I really regretted it when Satoshi-kun transferred out. I thought that if I'd listened, He may not have transferred out. I really regret that.
The road led me deeper into the forest. Oh, God. And he can't turn around. I almost called him Satoshi for a moment. Yeah, but he can't turn around. Wasn't I getting farther away from the village the more I ran? I lost more and more of my composure the more I thought about it. But despite this realization, my inner self was disturbingly calm.
So you see, I vowed. I vowed that if there was someone struggling like Satoshi-kun did, I'd save them. I don't want to see anyone transfer out again.
Damn it. What does transfer even mean? I won't let you transfer me. Oh my god. I won't end up the same as Satoshi.
Come on, Keiichi-kun, talk to me. I'll be able to understand you, Keiichi-kun. I'm your ally.
I started wheezing, out of breath. My lungs were so hot that they felt like they were going to explode. My heart was beating as hard as it possibly could. I should have practiced running instead of my swing. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Would you guys like if I went onto a little tangent of a story? Let me know, because I don't want to go off and have it, like, be distracting or something. I couldn't even afford to scoff at that stupid thought. Sure? Okay. I don't know if you guys have experienced the absolute fear that adrenaline gives you. Because, like, um, I'm scared of a lot of things, and I get startled very easily. So there have been times in my life where I get scared of something and then just dart in the opposite direction, like, because I thought my life was in danger. It's so crazy. Like, when you're actually terrified, the adrenaline that pumps into you gives you such running energy, but having it go for that long, it's right really really hard for I can just imagine what Keiichi's feeling right now. How hard that must be. Just having your whole body give out on you basically, because adrenaline takes up a lot of energy. So having it go for that long is just absolutely insane. He's probably so exhausted by now.
If Keiichi-kun doesn't have anything to worry about, he'll go back to normal. Everyone will be back to being friends and we can enjoy club activities again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just, out of everything I've experienced in my life, that itself is the most terrifying thing. Is the first saying the thing that scares you, and then just getting the immediate run in your head, and then you just dart with the all of the adrenaline. Oh, it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Next time we'll meet up and beat Michan.
Yeah, how much fun would that be? Ren, I couldn't even imagine how much I had wished I could return back the clock on these past few days.
You could be nice to me again, too. I want to go searching for treasure again. This time I'll prepare a nice lunch. Actually, we could just go right now. Let's go up to the dam site together.
Oh, he's gonna get killed there.
I'll show you the cute thing I just found. I'm sure you'll like it too.
I can't do a high-pitched laugh. That's so difficult. My footsteps made pathetic flapping sounds as my legs wobbled and faltered. Flat on my heels, Rena's steps were sharply breaking the twigs underfoot. I had to accept it. I was on the run, being chased by Rena. If she caught me, it was all over. I realized it instinctively. I couldn't even begin to think of what the end would entail. Just that if I was caught, it would all be over. That's what I knew. It was all over. It didn't matter how it was going to end. I wouldn't let it end. Not without knowing anything. Not yet. That momentary lapse was all it took. Of all the things that could have happened, my knees buckled underneath me and I crumbled towards the ground. Oh. I tried to stand frantically, urging my legs to respond. I used my bat as a makeshift cane to prop myself up, but Rena was already standing right in front of me. Oh, God. Compared to me, out of breath and utterly exhausted, Rena was so cool and composed that she could have froze the air around her. She wasn't breathing hard at all. Rather, couldn't even sense if her heart was beating.
Are you afraid of something, I wonder? It's not like you to tremble, Keiichi-kun.
God. The expression looked almost affectionate. Those soulless eyes, that mask of affection. Oh, God. She had admonished me for trembling. Rena's hands deftly slipped over her head. The blur of arms as they moved made me feel like I was staring at the godliness of a thousand-armed Buddha. Then as both of her hems met above her head, that axe she held came into focus. Oh, no. I stared up at it in disbelief. It was all I could do. Tell me, what happened to Satoshi? Rena stayed like that, with the axe raised above her head, solemnly opened her mouth. It was as she was expressing a farewell to a friend she was never to see again. That cruel scenario resided somewhere in her actions.
I told you, Satoshi-kun transferred. Out.
Oh, God. Enough of that transfer crap. It means demon away, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Uh-huh. We got it. You can tell me now, can't you? Who made Satoshi disappear? Was it you? Mion? Or someone in the village? Answer me! I became frantic the more I screamed, but Rena did nothing but remain, the smile frozen on her face. Maintain.
I have no idea what Keiichi-kun is talking about.
Then I'll say it in a way so you do. Who is the perpetrator of this chain of mysterious deaths?
You seem to be confused, Keiichi-kun.
What?
There is no human perpetrator.
Oh, God, here we go.
Everything is by Yashiro-sama's will.
Isn't Yashiro-sama's curse just superstition? You believe in that too? Oh, you didn't know?
It's not about believing or not. Yashiro-sama exists. Period.
Oh, she did. She said period. That means it must be true. Rena's gaze grew even more gillid. The ferocity of her stare was so intense, not allowing me to question anything. There's just no way something like Oyashiro-sama could exist.
You don't believe in Oyashiro-sama?
There's no way I could believe it. There's no way it could exist.
It exists. Oyashiro-sama exists. Keiichi-kun should have felt it personally.
Oh, is she talking about that time that we felt a presence behind us in the house? Who spilled ketchup on my visual novel? No, don't worry. We're just in a red room from when you do photographs. So don't worry. We're just getting some photos processed. I never felt something like that.
Keiichi-kun, haven't you felt someone apologizing to you before? Constantly on the top of that?
That was Rena, though. That was literally Rena. That wasn't Oyashiro-sama. Oh my god. All the noise from the outside world disappeared. Only Rena's voice resounded loudly and terribly.
You see, until you forgive them, they'll always be with you. At school, at home, at your bedside.
I don't understand what Rena was saying.
It came to me too. Oyashiro-sama did. That's why I transferred and came back to Hinamizawa.
I don't understand. What does transfer even mean? Well, I think she's using transfer literally here, but what was Rena saying?
Hasn't Oyashiro-sama come to you as well, Keiichi-kun? I'm probably the only one you can confide in. I won't let you transfer out, okay?
Oh, is that Keiichi? Laughing, crying. No, that's Rena. Rena's demented laughter clanged around inside my head. Was Rena saying Oyashiro-sama came to her as well? That's right. Last night I heard about that when I asked about Rena. Yeah. Please keep this confidential. Also, part of this may be speculation. All of it may be true. Are you still interested? Oishi. Not Yashiro. Oishi began speaking. Neither the victims nor the school filed a complaint, so there's no preliminary report. Basically, the police hadn't intervened in this matter. So all these details are just what I'd heard from those involved. Meaning, it's not that credible. You said there were victims? Didn't Rena just break all the windows? No. Rena Ryugu attacked 3 boys, using a metal bat. 2 of them only made it out with bruises, but the other had been injured so badly that one of his eyes was permanently damaged. Wouldn't that be considered assault? Shouldn't the police have arrested her? For whatever reason, the victim never pressed charges. There was no report to the police, so they were beaten with a bat and suffered significant injuries. Normally, there would be a criminal investigation, but why didn't they press charges? Tried asking the 3 male victims for their side of the story, but they were all reluctant. Hard to say, but they were all afraid, even after she had transferred schools. Oi-san, could you summarize it starting from the beginning? Rena hit people while she broke the windows? Or was it she started breaking the windows after she got bored of hitting people? Oh, they sounded similar, but the meanings were drastically different. Yeah, that's true. On an undisclosed date, Rena Ryugu was conversing with 3 male students, close friends of hers, near the pool storage shed. Who were those 3? I can't reveal their names, but they were close to Rena Ryugu. It seems like they were a group of friends. She was the lone girl in their group, so it wasn't that strange the 4 of them were together. So what happened? I don't know the reason why. She took the baseball team's bat that was in the pool storage shed and beat 3 of them down, one after the other. What? There were no witnesses. This was an account pieced together by the information given at the time of the incident. Wow. One day after school, Ren and 3 male students were at a pool storage shed talking together. They weren't seeking help, rather. They usually met up there. It appears it became a heated discussion. At that time, Rena underwent a change. It does seem like a split personality thing, actually. It actually does. The change was so abrupt that the 3 of them didn't comprehend what was happening. Oh, God. It's like a split personality, or like she snapped or something. Oh. Then, taking the metal bat, she attacked her friends one after the other. Man, she must have really hated that one guy. Ugh. Leaving her friends covered in blood with gashes on their heads, she made her way towards the school building. Jesus. And then broke the glass windows one after the other. A few minutes later, a teacher appeared on the scene and subdued her. Yeah, so she did hit the windows after she got bored of hitting people. What was this change Rena underwent? What matches up with the statements from 3 was a sudden change. The point that there was a transformation. Transformation? I also could recall Rena's transformation. I'd seen that change many times before. It was so different from the usual Rena that I couldn't help but believe it was someone else who looked like Rena. That transformation they're talking about, had it happened before? No, there was nothing like that. As far as I could find out, in her medical history and past, there was nothing like that. Does it happen often? Where people suddenly change like Rennie did? Oh. Of course it does. There are plenty of psychological phenomena that could cause something like that. Yeah, exactly. So it's not particularly, a split personality, but then you're saying that there was a dormant element in Rena that caused that transformation? I cannot say that for certain, but according to the statements of her friends, it's hard to believe she had such a side to her. Kind, caring, and adorable. Even before she transferred here, she was probably pretty popular in a school like she was now. That girl transforming suddenly and assaulting them with a bat? Who could imagine such a thing? Nobody could have seen it coming. I myself sometimes believed I was mistaken for thinking that Rena, even now. Then, what happened after that? There was a hospital right across from the school, so the 3 of them were carried in and treated quickly. What about Rena? What about the police? Why wasn't there a criminal investigation? Especially if this was, like, in a populated city, you know? You see, the police can't get involved unless they are called. Even though one was badly injured with permanent damage? Why didn't they file charges? Oh my god. Right? That's what caught my attention as well. Either some threat or pressure was placed upon them. They had a reason they couldn't file charges even if they wanted to. We're talking about you, after all. Of course you looked into it, didn't you? Well, yeah. But I told you at the beginning, didn't I? The victims were all very reluctant to talk. They didn't want to touch on the matter, or rather, they didn't want to be involved. Oh, that's awful. Reluctant to talk, didn't want to touch it, didn't want to be involved. It resembled what the villagers here. It resembled the villagers here in Yashiro-sama's curse. Maybe, like, Ren is, like, the host for Oyashiro-sama's curse or something. So the villagers are all like, you know, hush-hush about it. Did the teacher at the school tell you anything? School is a hollow ground. They tend to keep scandals under the wraps. I didn't have a search warrant, so I had to tread lightly, you see. Then there was no comment from the school. No. They denied the incident even happened. Wow. Okay. Makes sense, huh? It's just 3 male students were carried in for blunt force trauma that day. That's all there was in the hospital records. The victims didn't speak, the school denied it happened. Then you don't know anything at all. Aw, man. Yeah, I know nothing other than the incident itself had taken place. The victims also wish that this incident to be kept made from the public, so if you and I both forget about it, Mayabara-san, this incident will probably just fade away. For a brief period, we sat in silence. First glance, it looked like a simple assault case, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. The depths were obscured by rolling waves, sinking quietly into the void, as if it never existed to begin with. After that, she was suspended by the school, and during the time, she underwent psychiatric counseling. Did you hear anything from that doctor? Again, they were very professional in regards to their ethics, or at least very tight-lipped. Nothing even after you showed them your badge? I was told to get a warrant. The badge itself has no legally binding authority, after all. Then how did you know that Rena confessed that it was Yashiro-sama who did it? There was a nurse I asked in that department. She agreed to help me, just from showing her badge. Then, what'd she say? Turns out the nurse hadn't heard everything. Apparently all she remembered is what she overheard from inside the room. The nurse said at that time Ryugu was very calm and mild-mannered. It was more like she was confessing her sins at a church than a counseling session. She spoke with her mother there some of it, but partway through her mother was asked to leave, so it became a private counseling session between just the doctor and Rena for a while. The part with the Yashiro-sama, when did that pop up? Partway through, she screamed the name suddenly. That startled the nurse, and that's why she started listening in. Ah. It was the Yashiro-sama. Rena suddenly shouted that. I had no idea what was said before that, so I have no idea what the meaning behind it could have been. The doctor, calmly and collectedly, asked Rena to have a seat. What is this Yashiro-sama you speak of? It sounds like a doctor. Gently, ever so gently. The fundamentals of counseling were believing what you were told. Whoever abandons Hinamizawa will be hunted down by Oyashiro-sama. And they've finally gotten to me. That's the town you lived in before you moved here, isn't that right, Ryugu-san? I didn't want to move, but because of my mom and dad's circumstances, we had to. But Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow it. Ryugu-san must have had a lot of friends in Hinamizawa. Even now, you must be missing them dearly, don't you think? I want to go back to Hinamizawa. No, it's not that I want to go back. I have to go back. I should have gone back much sooner, but now it's too late. Oyashiro-sama has come. Oyashiro-sama is the name of the god in Hinamizawa, isn't that right? Everyone knows it's Hinamizawa's guardian deity. If you ever try abandoning Hinamizawa by leaving him, you'll incur his wrath. You had moved quite a while ago, didn't you? Then it was just now that this god had arrived, is what you're saying? You may not believe me, but Oyashiro-sama exists. That nurse was then asked by another nurse to do something and left the room. That was all she remembered. That was Oyashiro-sama's doing, right? I do believe there's kind of superstition in Hinamizawa. That if you leave the village, then you incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. You should be familiar with this part, Mayabara-san. Knew very well what those scorned by the village incurred. To hinder the dam construction project, they cursed the construction foreman to his death. In the following year, Satoko's parents, supporters, leading advocates for the dam were cursed to their death. But this is the first time I've heard of the curse incurred by leaving the village. It's my first time hearing that. I can understand outside threats being cursed by the village, but why also villagers who leave? Normally, people who leave villages aren't supposed to be cursed, right? I know it's a bit strange to say it, but I could see it as a rule that the people who come in are the ones who would be cursed. Far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. Is that some saying that I'm unfamiliar with? Some Japanese saying, maybe? Curses weren't something to chase people after they leave, were they? Oishi-san pondered for a bit on the other end of the receiver, and then began speaking again. Well, I told you a long time ago when Hinamizawa was called Onikakushi, didn't I? Recalled hearing that. Long ago, Hinamizawa was feared and respected as the village of ogres. The villagers at the foot of the mountains worshipped the ogres. So Onikakushi was hollowed ground that you could never enter. It came to be said if you entered carelessly, you were cursed by Yashida-sama. Those who set foot in Onikakushi, in other words, Hinamizawa, would be cursed. I can understand that. I know that, but for leaving to also not be good, that's... Also, the ogres, you see. They were being strictly watched by Yashida-sama so they would not enter into our world. In other words, Yashida-sama probably restricted interaction between Onikakushi and the rest of the world. I see. I finally understood what sort of thing Yashida-sama was. Gatekeeper? So basically, Yashida-sama is more like a warden than a protectorate deity, I guess. Trying to keep this place isolated from the rest of the world. I guess that's how it would seem. I'm sorry, I don't know very much myself. This is mostly what was passed on to me from my grandmother. I can understand it a bit better if it was like that. Those who came to Hinamizawa would be cursed, and those who tried to leave would also be cursed. So, because Ren originally lived in Hinamizawa and moved away, she fulfilled the requirements for being cursed. So that means, because Rena moved away against his wishes, she was cursed by Yashida-sama? Is that what it adds up to? In short, that seems to be what it points to, I guess. As a matter of fact, soon afterwards, they did move back to Hinamizawa after all. Those who had abandoned Hinamizawa and left were cursed. But then, why only Rena? Didn't Rena's parents also have been guilty of the same transgression by moving away and having been cursed? Also, in this day and age in Japan, shouldn't there be a lot of people coming and going? Yeah. If every single one of them were cursed, then it'd be insane. And in reality, it wasn't that big of a deal at all. At most, there'd be one person dying and one disappearing on the day of Watanagashi. I don't like saying at most, though. It's a flashback. Yeah, it's a flashback. So, like, technically, in reality, Keiichi's literally, like, about to get slaughtered. So, yeah. Well, anyways, there's a lot I still don't know. Even if it was Yashida-sama's curse, it doesn't add up to why her classmates, the victims who were beaten with a metal bat, wouldn't press charges. You don't think the victims were cowering because they believed that a terrible curse had befallen them, do you? Maybe. Of course, I didn't want to believe it. But more importantly, I had just realized something else. And there's another bizarre connection that Rena made between Yashida-sama's curse and metal bats. Satoshi fell victim to Yashida-sama's curse and went missing. I had recently learned that Satoshi had also become infatuated with the metal bat right before he disappeared, just like me. Okay. So, people who get afflicted with the curse take on metal bats. Because Rena left and then had that infatuation, and then Satoshi and Keiichi were infatuated. Then Rena as well. She was affected by Yashida-sama's curse. She confessed that much to the doctor. And the weapon which she had used at the time of that horrendous act was, again, a metal bat. And finally, me. I'd encountered various things that were inexplicable, and now I was holding onto a metal bat. I was shocked when I learned that Satoshi did the same thing. Couldn't be. Had the same thing happened to Rena? There was one critical difference between her and Satoshi's case. That being, Satoshi went missing after falling victim to the curse, but Rena was still here. Both of them had been fallen victim to Yashida-sama's curse, yet they were met with different endings. Oh, is it because Satoshi didn't leave? Because, like, he wasn't supposed to be here? So he should have left and then he would have been fine? Because he showed up when he wasn't supposed to be here? And Rena's fine because she left and wasn't supposed to leave. So she came back and she was fine. Maybe it's like that? And finally, me. I wouldn't call it coincidence anymore. Rena, Satoshi, And finally, me. Could it be that I was really under Yashida-sama's curse right now? No, more importantly than that, what should I do now? Satoshi has been demoned away, vanishing without a trace. Rena was fine. Fine? Rena had undergone a change. I can only believe that there was something that wasn't Rena residing within her. And here, right now, it was standing before me. Oh, we get back. Rena, please tell me. What will happen to me? Rena stood imposingly, not answering.
Satoshi disappeared. But Rena didn't disappear. So...
Oh, Satoshi disappeared, but Rena didn't disappear. So, what will happen to me? I'd never heard such an unpleasant laugh before. Thank you, Keiichi. That's super encouraging for me. Oh my god. It had come akin to the sound of her breathing. It was no longer a voice or an expression of feeling.
Don't worry, I'll save you.
Will you? Oh, will you, Rena? Rena took one step forward, still holding the axe high above her head.
Now then.
One step closer, Rena's face spread out to fill my vision.
Speak.
One step closer. Rena's nose was close enough to touch mine and was still pushing closer.
There's something you want to say, isn't there? I'll listen. I'll save you, okay? Speak, okay?
What does she want him to say? Sorry? Oh, Yashiro-sama's real? What?
Speak, okay?
Slumped down, landing squarely on my butt. It wasn't for some pathetic reason. It was all I could do to get as far away from Rena. Oh god, I don't know if I could do that, but I had a gut feeling that I couldn't let her laughter end. So when that laughing ended, the moment I picked up on that feeling, my body moved by instinct. I sprang to my feet so fast I couldn't even believe it, and I pushed Rena away with both hands. Rena was as light as a feather. Thrown about by the unbalanced weight of the axe, she was sent backwards as if she'd been carried off by the wind. After confirming that out of the corner of my eye, I dashed off at full speed. I was the first perfect picture of fleeing like a greased pig. Don't do that to yourself. I keep calling him Satoshi now. Oh my god. Keiichi, heck. Get away from Rena. Run away. Survive. Couldn't think of anything other than this. While I was running, I remembered I'd been holding onto a bat the entire time. Such a worthless weapon. Yeah. Couldn't believe I'd forgotten about this weapon at such an important time. Sped even farther down the winding path. I didn't even feel myself gasping for air, my legs getting heavy. My body understood it as well. If I didn't run away from here, I wouldn't live. I could hear the laughter of that simulacrum of Rena coming from behind me, rang through the trees in my head and slowly chiseled away at my sanity. The grove of trees thinned out, and my vision— oh no, are you at the dam? My field of vision suddenly expanding. Where was this? For a moment I was bewildered by the scenery. I felt I knew, but couldn't quite remember. Yep, I quickly realized. It was the dam site. Don't talk about Raccoon like that. Dude, Raccoon's revenge. He'll have his uses. The fact that I dashed madly and ended up in a place like this gave me a bad feeling, like I was following some unscripted plot. I had a good view of my surroundings, but I didn't see a single soul here. This was a terrible spot for someone on the run. There was no better place for an attacker. My heart was already on the verge of bursting. Muscles in my legs were screaming. But I didn't care. If I stopped here, then they might not be able to scream for much longer. Even still, I glanced back, looking for an excuse to rest. Keiichi breaks the fourth wall to escape Rena. If I could only wish for that to be the case. Instead, I saw two villagers walking around. I breathed a sigh of relief that it wasn't Rena, but a third party. But the voice inside me rang the alarm once again. Villagers walking around weren't suspicious in and of themselves, but it bothered me. They both wore rough-looking clothes. Empty-handed, they definitely gave the impression that they were just out for a walk. But at this time of day, two adults wandering around without purpose, was enough to raise questions. But more than anything else, those eyes. They weren't chit-chatting while walking. They were both silent, heading forward, looking in my direction. Oh, no. So at the end of my rope and had finally started imagining things, I should run away. It's probably the best choice. If they weren't involved, I'd lose them easily by running. If they were part of the group after me, then they would come running after me. Either way, unless I hurried up, Rena would catch up with me. That's right, I was going to run. Deciding that, the moment I began to turn tail, both of them rushed towards me, as if they knew exactly what I was thinking. No. Somewhere inside me, I had jumped to the conclusion that Rena was the only thing I needed to be afraid of. I made the assumption that I didn't need to fear anything else. But right now, I realized just how blatantly wrong I was. Suddenly, the story Oishi told me about the demons all leaving the village to hunt prey floated back through my mind. I could tell that they were both coming after me without even turning around because of their frantic footsteps. It was frightening, being unable to shake Rena off as she slowly closed in on me, but this didn't even compare. Being pursued with such violent ferocity, this straightforward horror was unparalleled. One of the pursuer's arms grazed my shoulder. Oh, they're catching up. Now it wasn't just their frenzied footsteps, but now the distinct sound of their breathing that I could hear. No, I could practically feel them breathing on me. They were already right behind me. Yet considering these are actually two adults now. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Still running at full tilt, I felt the surrounding area go still. No, I felt time itself had stopped. Turned my head back slightly in that frozen world, realizing how close my pursuers had gotten to me. Couldn't win an argument against the legs of an adult. In less than time it would take to blink twice, when this frozen time began moving again, they'd be right on top of me. On top of me, and then... Don't think about that, Keiichi. First realize that you won't be able to shake them off like this. The fact that you can't get away was a given, then you need to make a decision. Go with the right leg or go with the left. You just need to decide which one. Let's go with the left. When I decided that, temporal singularity burst into pieces. Right. Left. I swung the bat in a wide arc with my right arm. Using the inertia, I stopped and suddenly spun. Yes! What? Two of them were clearly startled. Momentarily losing sight of me, both their outstretched arms ready to grab me, instead grasped that empty space. The man on the right, I applauded him for being able to figure it out. Spun around on the spot I shouldn't have been, and faced me in astonishment. But it was too late. I didn't even need to swing my bat. All I needed to do was extend my arms as I turned around. It's by no means a heavy blow, but it seemed like it had enough power behind it to knock him off his feet. Just knocking him down wasn't enough to scare him away. He'd got back up in no time. Both of them took a fighting stance and were ready to face me. This made me certain that it wasn't just two people out for a walk. They were clearly after me. Oh, now he knows? Dude, if them not running at you didn't already, raise enough alarms, well, much easier than dealing with Rena. Just by not recognizing their faces, by not knowing them, made things easier. Smiled wryly on the inside. What do you want with me? Next one is going to be right in your face, you bastard. It's fine if it was just a bluff. By barking out at them, I was able to fire myself up. Yeah, boy! Yeah. They didn't respond. Spread out to either side of me with unbelievably calm expressions on their faces. One of them would grab onto my bat, and the other would hold me down. Was that their plan? Taking on both of them at once would be impossible. Hot sweat poured from every pore in my body. I just have to settle it with the first move. Man, I just realized too, it's extremely hot where they are. Oh, that would make it even worse to be running and being afraid in that type of weather. I'd step in and strike the first one down. Narrowing my target to the man on the right, who had already been knocked down before, I stepped in and swung with all my might. There was no way for an unarmed person to guard against it. It would cause immense damage. If they blocked it with their arm, their bone would snap like a twig. If they turned their back to it, then it was impossible that a blow would travel all the way to their vital organs. It looked like he was aware of this. Pushed farther through the kill zone between us, he delivered a fist right into my gut. Oh, no. Not good. With this distance, in this position, in this state, there's no way for me to dodge it. Oh my god. The world flipped upside down. I understood that I was being tossed around like a rag doll. I landed on the soft earth without a sound, feeling the grainy soil press against my face. It didn't hurt at all. The moment I thought that, I suddenly felt pain coming from the abrasions on my skin, as well as the contents of my stomach being forced upwards, flooding my mouth with a bitter sensation. I knew very well I didn't have time to relish this experience. I stood up as quickly as I could, but at that moment the other man was already barreling towards me. Yeah, he already been hit once. Being able to comprehend calmly that I simply couldn't dodge it made it all that more unsettling. Upsetting? Unsettling. After plowing into my stomach full force once again, my assailant twisted around behind me and locked his thick arm around my neck. Oh god, this better not be the end. This better not be the end. My throat felt like it was being crushed by his immense strength. I couldn't even contemplate that I was being strangled, or that I was about to go unconscious. My vision simply darkened, and as a silent whining noise began playing deep inside of my mind. I took everything I had to keep myself from blacking out. While this was happening, the other man was more than likely standing in front of me. I wasn't able to open my eyes, but I could feel that he was there. There was nothing I could do now. Unable to shake his arm off me, I couldn't run. I couldn't fight back. Dire straits. Couldn't even come up with the phrase that adequately described my situation. Oh my god. Huh? What's going on? Did he get knocked out? What's going on? Um. What? What? Huh? What? Back at home? Hmm. A familiar ceiling. It would no. I'm not taking that. I am not taking that. What the heck? The smell of bed and pillows. I knew them well. Was this my room? Yeah, he got knocked out and carried back home. Normally there wouldn't be anyone in my room besides me, but their presence made me spring awake. When I did that, pain shot through my entire body. Yeah, he got beat the heck up.
Feeling alright? Think you'd better just lie down for a bit.
Why was Rena in my room? Blood began to surge through my muscles and my capillaries. But Rena's smile belonged to the Rena I knew well. I knew I shouldn't let myself feel this way. I relaxed, thinking that this version of Rena was safe. Why am I... Don't you remember? After losing consciousness, nothing at all. My body had become more lethargic than I could have ever imagined. That would be the expected outcome after exerting everything I had back there. I tried to at least clear my head, but I couldn't shake the sluggish feeling out of my mind.
I called the doctor. He should be here soon. I think you'd better just lie down until then.
I wasn't injured seriously enough to merit calling a doctor. I don't know. But knowing that someone impartial was coming was slightly reassuring. Why am I here? I'm sure I was at the dam site.
That's what I want to know. What happened? When I got there, Keiichi-kun was already passed out.
That's why I'm the one who wants to know. I was attacked by two weirdos. They talked about it. I finally remembered what had happened right before I passed out. Calling that memory and the terror that went along with it caused the fogginess around my head to clear right up. Let's forget about those two for now. I didn't expect Rena to be nursing me. Yeah, I fully expected her to just straight kill him. I thought Rena was trying to kill me. Yeah, that's what I said. She would have had the perfect chance while I was unconscious. Not only did she not kill me, but she had nursed me back to health. Amazing you could drag me all the way back here. Wasn't I heavy? Looking at Rena's delicate frame, it was hard to believe that she had not only gotten me back home, but even dragged me all the way up to the second floor. Yeah, this is very hard to believe. I'm 90% that the two guys beat up Keiichi and then drag him back here. Because Ren is like the mastermind. Well, not the mastermind, but one of them. Did you have some help?
Don't you remember, Keiichi-kun?
Ren appeared a bit surprised, but still kept her smile.
I only propped you up on my shoulder. You said you could walk on your own and that you were fine. You don't remember?
Okay, that's a straight up lie. That is a straight up lie. I didn't remember. My memory was fuzzy after that point where I lost consciousness. What about those two?
Huh?
When you got there, Rena, the ones with me, or rather, those two guys.
There wasn't anyone.
She said it so bluntly. Oh, shut up, Rena. I'm sick of you. I am actually sick of you. The way she stated it felt slightly unpleasant. I was just too timid at that time. I might have just been able to force some answers out of Rena. If I did that, then this kind Rena might transform into the scary Rena who I didn't know. Hearing that, I didn't press any further. Thinking about it, it was the obvious choice. Both the men were there. I didn't think Rena would even have stood a chance. Couldn't find a way to explain it, unless I assumed she brought me here after those two guys were already gone. Rena was still smiling. Her eyes sparkled warmly. Dude, I don't know. What would you guys do? Just accept that things might be going wrong and just, you know, be ignorant and try to act like nothing's happening? Or would you pursue this to the end? Like, realistically, in this situation? I think it would be a lot easier to just play ignorance. Yet, I felt like I was hallucinating when I saw something. Something akin to a shadow slowly creeping across her face. Small omen sent shivers down my spine. While Rena was still Rena, I needed to make contact. I needed to contact Oishi-san. Rena stopped me when I tried to get out of bed. She said it would aggravate my wounds, so I should sleep. I would leave and never look back. Look, how about if leaving wasn't an option? You have to either act ignorant and just keep going like normal, or fight. No leaving. Because if you leave, you'll probably die anyway. Or you'll go crazy like Rena did. I don't know. I like to go to the bathroom, though.
So sorry.
Rena couldn't say anything else. While Rena stayed in her room, I quickly went downstairs to get the phone receiver in the living room. Get wrecked, Rena. When I approached the front door, the doorbell rang ding-dong. Must have been the doctor Rena had called. It was strange for a patient to welcome in a doctor who's making a house call. Either be gaslighted my entire life or fighting an entire village. Exactly. I'd probably be gaslit or become one of them, you know? I don't know. But it would be incredibly reassuring to have him here for the considerable time it would take Oishi-san to get here. Carelessly opened the door with that simple assumption and regretted it almost instantly. Of course, Mion with her hekkin gun-san. Mion? Oh, you look just fine. I heard you collapsed, so I came to check up on you. How did you know I collapsed? I heard it from Rena over the phone. Do I need any other reason than that? I understood why she would call a doctor, but why Mion too? Of course, Rena would need backup. After the first attempt on his life, and they didn't succeed. Rena was descending the stairs behind me. Rena, doesn't Kei-chan look pretty alright? Sheesh, you made me worry for nothing.
That's true. Maybe I worried for nothing as well.
They both began laughing. Oh God, get out of my house. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. It appeared to be cheerful laughter, but I couldn't shake the feeling that was darkness looming over them. Yeah, it would be very difficult, Dirk, wouldn't it? Whoa, what's up with this shoe rack? Oh, wouldn't you wish to know? How did it get like this? Shoe rack I'd smashed to pieces have been like that since yesterday. I fell, you see? And the bat I was holding at the time slammed into it. Yeah, that's what happens. Ha 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 ha. This is what happens when you swing around something you're not used to handling. Kept the fact that it was none of her business to myself. Yeah, now he's so weak, you know? He can't really, like, be who he wants to be. He just has to go along with it right now because of how weak he is. Leaving it like this will really startle your parents when they get home. I'll fix it up for you later. Now, come on, Kei-chan. The terminally ill need their rest. Come, come. Back in bed, back in bed. Terminally ill? Both of them urged me up the stairs. I had no chance to call Oishi-san. Of course. I was pushed onto my bed. As it was the first time Miona had been in my room, she came searching around it intently. She filled around my room and was scolded by Rena. Can't imagine how it went. It was uncomfortable having my room being poked around, but the conversation was so benign that it was heartwarming. During that innocent conversation, Mion said something as though it was perfectly ordinary. Oh no, what'd you say? Rena, did you call the manager? Is that code?
Yep. Right after I called Michan. He said he'd be right over.
Manager? Oh my god. No, that's definitely code for something. That's definitely code. If I was K1, I would be scratching my neck. Yeah, I can agree. I can agree. Yeah. That out of place word gave me a bad feeling. When I called a doctor, then called Mion. And after that, she called a manager? Who is this manager? Since Ren and Mion's conversation was so peaceful, it only felt slightly odd. What are you two talking about? Who's this manager? Wouldn't you like to know, K1? You didn't know, Kei-chan? We mean the manager when we say manager.
Huh? Like the director of a movie. Or like a foreman of a construct.
No! The things were too good. Things were too good. Oh, I just got shivers. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Shut up. Shut up, Rena. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my god, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, okay. I dug through all the memories for a manager who might have had business with me. Only one thing came to mind. Rena had just said, the construction site foreman. The very first victim of the first incident, the dismemberment at the damn construction site. The foreman. That was strange. He was supposed to be dead. There was no way they could call him. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. The only way to survive is to do a Karen and complain to the manager. Shut up. No, it's not the time, East. I'm delirious right now. What does that manager have to do with me? You said he was coming. Didn't you mean to my house? I asked one obvious question after the other, but all the two of them did was smile coolly at each other. There was a huge difference between how the two of them appeared and how my suspicions were playing out. Slowly, I felt discomfort and panic welling up inside of me. I don't understand what Ren and Mion were talking about. Kei-chan, you've gone into baseball lately, haven't you? Pretty sure the manager will be happy to hear that. Who is this? Who is this? So who is this manager? The manager is the manager. So who is this manager? Oh my god, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Ren and Mion looked at each other and laughed heartily. That disturbing cackle unpleasantly resounded around me. Ha. That laugh, long enough to be unsettling, ended abruptly. Oh yeah, we should finish up before the manager comes. You remember, don't you, Keiichi? Don't you, Kei-chan? Her face was laughing. Mion's eyes told a different story. Remember? Remember what?
Keiichi-kun, had he forgotten, I wonder?
Who? Who? Who?
About the penalty?
Who? What? Who? Where? What?
About the penalty.
Did you really forget? The homework with the mochi? Oh. Oh. The homework where you're supposed to guess which one Rena made? You forgot about that homework, didn't you? Certainly did have that homework. I'd thrown away the rest of the mochi after I found that sewing needle. I wasn't able to answer which one Rena made. I mean, it was obviously the one that had the needle in it. Obviously. Even though Mion said that she's the one who put it in. The penalty for that? Why now? No doubt my question was written all over my face. The answer to my question was that dry laughter. I could no longer make heads or tails of anything. I began to think that this entire day was somehow insane. Strange. Incomprehensible. Being chased by Rena, attacked by strange men. Penalty that Mion and Rena were talking about. What were these two laughing at? It didn't take that long for me to realize I'd been dragged into an abnormal situation. Get out of my house! Who were these two? Who were these people? Who were these doppelgangers of Rena and Mion? Rena had gotten behind me at some point. Oh no, she's got the eyes. Why was she pinning my arms behind my back? What are you doing?
Don't move. This is your penalty.
Shut up, Eve. Shut up. My body's already very sluggish, and Rena pinning my arms made it that much harder to move. I seriously tried to struggle, but she wouldn't even budge. A panic began to well up, and I realized it was well beyond the realm of jokes and pleasantries. Its freakishly monstrous strength, it would have been impossible for the Rena I knew. Then his thin, frail arms grasping me firmly. Whose arms were they? Hey, John, no struggling. Club rules. There are no exceptions. Can't fight against the penalty. Mion, no. That thing that looked like Mion spoke to me how Mion would speak to me. But I was certain that that was not Mion. Someone who wasn't Mion. Someone who was just pretending to be Mion. Need to finish this up before the manager comes. Why? Mion fished into her pockets and pulled out something bizarre. I could tell what it was just by looking, but for such a thing to be in her pocket, my mind wouldn't accept it. What is that? What is it? It was a small syringe. Oh my god, they're gonna do like the forget me juice. Right? Or the murder you juice. Something's going to happen that the manager needs to confirm. Anyway, oh god, whatever it isn't good. It was a small, clear syringe like what a doctor would use when you went to him when you were sick. Rena held me even tighter. I could hear that clattering laughter that no longer sounded like laughter blaring into my ear. That eerie laughter wasn't something that the Rena I knew could ever produce from her own throat. This thing that was pretending to be Rena. Was this the real laugh? Unable to defend myself, the syringe Mion was holding drew closer. So that needle tip was waved in front of my face countless times. Don't worry. It won't hurt. What are you planning on doing? What kind of sick joke is this?
What are you saying, Keiichi?
Don't you know exactly what's going on, don't you? About what? I don't understand any of this at all. I know you know. No use playing the fool this late in the game. Stop talking nonsense to try and confuse me. You're going to have done to you what happened to Tomi. No. What? The same as Tomitake-san. Didn't really understand what she meant. What did that have to do with the syringe?
You're playing dumb, Keiichi-kun. Should have realized it by now.
Rena whispered in my ear, laughing as to admonish me. But even the way she spoke was repulsive beyond compare. Playing dumb? Me? About what? What do you mean, the same as Tomitake-san? Hopefully you guys can't hear my phone going off in the background. Everyone thought, at first, it was a hit and run. Except when the officer got closer to check if he was still alive and soon noticed it wasn't a normal situation. His throat was scratched out. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? Nails as in fingernails? With those gouged through? That's right. Tomitake-san had clawed out his own throat with his own nails and died. There's no way someone could die like that. So then, for that to happen, I thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature. Oh! Nothing of that nature was detected. That's right. Police didn't find any drugs in Tomitake's system. Oh no, drugs were definitely involved. Damn, I thought it would be the gun. Nah. The police told me that they didn't find any drugs in Tomitake-san's body. What is that? Gue? Like go away? Or just or what? Two of them laughed together. Oh, that sickening laughter. Of course they'd laugh. To assume such a medicine didn't exist just because the police didn't know about it was completely foolish. Meaning, the drug that caused Tomitake-san to die in such a bizarre manner did exist. Mion injected this into me. That would probably be all the proof I needed. That would basically mean I'd end up the same as Tomitake-san. Become hysterical, scratching out my throat in the last moments, and then die. For such an outrageous drug to exist. For Mion to be holding it. I was about to be injected with it. At that moment, I did not feel there was any need whatsoever to question it. What kind of idiot, when he's trying to dodge a ball flying straight for his face, has time to think of a reason as to why it's flying at him. That's a very good analogy. Just give up. Alright then. Mion's action lacked any gravities, and that made it even more terrifying. There was none of the ceremony, like when someone is sentenced to death. There was no hesitation at all, as if she were brushing her teeth. Mion reached out with one hand and grabbed onto my chest. It felt like electricity had run through the back of my head, and the entire world had gone dark. Did they stick him? Did they stick him? Did I stand up too fast? Or did someone hit me really hard in the back of the head? When I lost my sense of balance, I was assaulted by a wave of dizziness. Did they stick him? Did they actually do it? Hopefully not. Oh! Come on! Are they gonna have me pause? They're gonna make me save here? Oh, come on. No, we're not leaving it here. We can't. That's like, no. Okay, cool. Squatted down for a bit. When I came back to my senses, my entire room had changed drastically. The numbness in my head was gone, slowly, until blood was flowing to my extremities again. How long had I been squatting here? How many minutes? Has it been hours? It's almost as if the hands on the clock had stopped moving the entire time my eyes were closed. That's how little time passed. Really? The air in the room wasn't filled with that madness from before, only a dull silence. Ronan wasn't there pinning my arms, and Mion wasn't there about to inject me with that needle. No way. Could it be? All of it was a hallucination? No. Please, my dear gay, my dear gay, K, my dear K1. No. There's no other presence in the room besides my own. It was the weirdest experience I've ever had. I was certainly with Rena and Mion. I doubted my sanity for a moment, but I was also seized with some sort of comfort. I guess the terrible ordeal was just a hallucination. Neither Rena nor Mion, they wouldn't ever do something so terrible. Dude, they definitely stuck him. And he's just like, oh, everything's fine. They definitely stuck him. My head grew hot. I could tell my emotions were welling up. Why? That wasn't a reason to cry. Why? Oh, finally, after all he's been through, he's finally letting his tears go. It was sorrow. Why was I sad? I don't understand. Kind to everyone, not discriminating against age or gender. Mion. Mion was sprawled by the window in an unnatural pose. Blood stained her a deep red from her head down to her chest. That bright crimson smeared on the walls. That splatter undoubtedly come from Neon. She always had the bright smile and was kind to me from the day I transferred. Rena. You spilled ketchup on my Mion. Oh my god, dude, this is so serious. This is serious. That same Rena was slumped at my feet and was making the same pool of blood as Mion. I couldn't comprehend what had happened. Someone come to save me? Then they beat these two down with this metal bat? Finally noticed the weight in my right hand. How long had it been there? It was Satoshi's metal bat. It was covered in a deep red. There's no doubt that this was the weapon used to mutilate both of them. And I was holding that weapon. I was the only person in the house. What? Oh my god. Looking at this objectively, trying to think of anyone other than myself who could have done it. I did this? Dude, he was just protecting himself. He really was. That's right. Keiichi Maebara. Of course I did it. I told myself gently, as if coaxing myself. Hey, me. There's no reason for you to remember it, nor is there a need to regret it. Eat or be eaten. You get that, don't you? But the blood. There's so much. Neither Ren nor Mion had moved an inch. It wasn't just a split forehead and trickle of blood, nothing that simple. The entire room was splattered with red. It told me it didn't end with just 2 or 3 strikes. Were they dead? Both of them? The depths of my mind were calm, but on the surface I was panicking and agitated. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. What happened to your usual calm self? Dude, Keiichi Maebara's usual calm self never existed. Come on now. Do like you always do. Throw your head back, take a deep breath. Come on. Once. Twice. Breathe deeply. Calm down. Calm down. Chanted that over and over in my head, and I relaxed. Man. Wish there was a CG or something to show it. Carla came back to my vision, smells reinfused in the air. Same time, I remembered what had happened when I blacked out. Okay, so he's remembered. Ren and Mion had attacked me. They were about to inject me with whatever caused the symptoms as Tomitaka-san. Right before that happened, I fought back. Twisted my whole body and threw Ren as she was pinning my arms. Then I followed through with my spin and rammed my foot as hard as I could into Mion's torso. It was soft. Rena tried jumping on me, so I tackled her as hard as I could and slammed her against the wall. I didn't let that brief moment of them having off balance slip by. Satoshi's bat that was left carelessly by the side of my desk. Weep. That moment, everything went pitch black. There's nothing recorded past that point in this videotape of my mind. No, that wasn't right. It wasn't there was nothing recorded. It was recorded just fine. Just the other me inside myself that told me not to look, not turn off the TV. Oh. Oh, poor Kei-chan. Oh my god. It's because the screen had gone black and I couldn't see it. It didn't mean that the videotape within me hadn't recorded it. TV was just off. The video was still playing. Tape within me, creaking along, still playing. On the other end of that pitch black screen, that horrifying video was still playing on. Compared to this, though, this scene right before my eyes was still so difficult to take in. There's blood splattered everywhere on the walls, the 2 of them in these unnatural poses. Not a sign of movement from them. Couldn't even tell if they were breathing. No matter what the circumstances were, my friends, these girls, I had attacked them. May have even killed them. But if I hadn't done this, I would have been the one done for. Balancing that out on an imaginary scale felt odd that I'd even feel bad about it. Even if I was a bit excessive, this was justifiable self-defense. Proof was all here. Two of them collapsed here in Mion's syringe. Mion's syringe filled with some unknown drug that would certainly solve the mystery surrounding the incident with Tomitake-san. So technically, he solved it. He's done it. He has proof. He has actual proof. From the fact that both of these two were involved, they'd be able to pick out criminals one after the other. Still, I might be suspected for this. That was just fine. Anyway, now this should be a police affair. This wouldn't fade into the darkness like Rena's past incidents. As long as the police were involved, that should bring things to a close. Probably revisit their investigation on this chain of incidents. Koichi-san would definitely get to the bottom of it. Well, looks like it ended pretty well, I think. Meaning, my wish. Not wanting to die. Wanting to know the truth. That would be fulfilled in its most basic form. It's all a matter of time now. Dr. Rena calls, should be getting here soon. Confess everything to her. Need to contract Oishi-san. Yeah, go get the phone. Go get the phone. That moment, I remembered. Besides the doctor, a manager had been called. Right! It was easy to imagine that there was someone deeply involved with the incidents, judging from Ren and Mion's conversation. The ache in my chest, caused by the gruesome deed I'd done, dissipated rapidly. It was not over yet. This place was no longer safe, like it ever was. Stay calm, Keiichi Maibara. It's not over yet. I needed to live long enough to tell the police of the incident. That moment, I felt like I heard someone's voice from outside. As people were speaking, must have meant there was more than one person. Oh god. I moved the curtain ever so slightly and peered outside. It was a bizarre sight. About 4 or 5 grown men were all gathered at the gate. They very much resembled the 2 men who had assaulted me at the dam site today. These 2 men might even be among them. There's one person there wearing a white coat, but he didn't look like a doctor at all. My gut told me he was in disguise, only posing as a doctor. That guy would probably ring the bell and get me to open the front door, pretend to be a doctor to get me to open the door, and then the rest of them would all rush in at once. At that moment, I saw a car parked behind the men, and my heart nearly skipped a beat. The white van. Oh! Yeah. No mistaking it. That van, the one that tried to run me down. The man in the white coat entered the gate and headed towards the front door. The rest of the men hid in the bushes and watched him. Probably couldn't pretend that I wasn't home. Undoubtedly, they would just break the window and enter. I need to get out of here somehow. Then use a public phone to contact Oishi-san. Then meet up somewhere. First of all, I need a weapon. The shoes. But before all that, there was one thing I had to do. I had no intention of dying. I'd live. And reveal the truth about this nonsensical curse of Oyashiro-sama. But what would happen from here on, regardless of how determined I was, may bring about my demise. And that was why. There's one thing more important than getting out of here right now. Writing everything down. I need to get that clock out quickly and take down the note hidden behind it. Damn it. Tape was sticking to it fast. I'd be fine if it was torn a little. I opened up the slightly torn note and began writing another passage with a ballpoint pen. If I wasn't able to inform Oishi-san, then the only thing I could rely on was this note. Never thought a piece of torn, college-ruled notebook paper could be this reliable before. I had no time. I'd only write what I knew right now. I needed to leave some sort of information that would lead them to uncover the truth. Ren and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. This is an undeniable fact. I still didn't want to believe it, but it was a fact. Anyway, I'd leave all the information that would help lead them to finding the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This was everything I was able to see from the window. There may be more. Also, there was an unidentified person known as the manager. To begin with, the term manager didn't even mesh with Hinamizawa at all. If they're going to include the managers from the past incidents, then the only one is that construction foreman, the victim from the first murder. The very first victim in the chain of incidents. Killed in a lynching. His body divided into 6 pieces. The right arm was never discovered. The police should have confirmed that death. But Rena and Mion did both call him manager. They said manager. They wouldn't use that term to refer to someone who was dead. The police would never even conceive that someone who was deceased could be involved. Could that be some sort of an oversight? I didn't know. But even if I didn't know, it could be a big hint for Oishi-san. That's right. They needed to start fresh from the first incident. It wasn't just a simple dismemberment, but a start of the string of mysterious deaths that would follow. So then, there must be something hidden there. Please reinvestigate the victim from the dismemberment incident. He's alive. His death should have been established after an autopsy. Logically, you would think as much. Was that really the case? Could have been some sort of ploy that they were able to deceive the police with? Shouldn't jump to conclusions, but he may still be alive. I had no time to ponder that right now. Oh, yeah. Something even more important I needed to write. Ibutaka-san's death was from an unknown drug. That's right, that drug. It was an irreplaceable piece of evidence. No doubt, just by having this, everything would be uncovered. Couldn't just leave a vital clue lying on the floor. Syringe is proof. Writing that down, I stuck the syringe onto the back of the clock with plenty of tape, so it should absolutely not slip out and fall on the floor. Firmly, firmly. Oh god, they're here. The bell rang. They were here. I couldn't write anymore, but even still, there was one last thing I had to write. I have no idea why it has become like this. Maybe the closest thing to the truth out of everything I wrote on this note. If you're reading this, then I'm probably already dead. Though you may or may not find my body. I was going to write out everything that could happen, either dying from the curse, or being demoned away. You, who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. With this, my last will and testament was complete. It was certain that I was going to die, but it was my final plea. I wasn't certain that I was going to die, not was, but it was my final plea, just in case. Folded the note, stuck it back onto the back of the clock, and returned the clock back to its usual spot. Couldn't help but pray. Oishi-san, if something happens to me, I'll leave the rest to you. After that, I gazed down silently at Ren and Mion. This was probably the last time we'd ever see each other. Rena, Mion, I really had thought all of us were friends. But why did it end up like this? Never had any fun at my previous school. I only worried about standardized test scores, about if the school I hoped to get into was where I really wanted to go, or a safety net. That's all I talked about. It was a dull life. People I called friends were also my rivals in studying, competitions, and personal records, and standardized test scores. Everyone here taught me how unhealthy that lifestyle was. This month was really fun. Making a fuss over lunch, making a fuss over the club, making a fuss over the festival. Something hot began dripping down my face. Uncontrollable tears. Oh, poor Keiichi. I should have no obligation to shed tears for them. They wouldn't stop, even if they were after my life. Even if they were trying to kill me. Everything that happened this month, I wouldn't forget it. Oh. What could it be? Those happy days were all facade as well. Was it all a trap, meticulously orchestrated up until today, to ensnare me? Could it have been that I just arbitrarily assumed that they were my friends? That couldn't have been the case. Both Rena and Mio, they really were my friends. Those happy days. There was nothing fake or unclear about them. Someone probably forced them to try and kill me. Or their minds were taken over, possessed by the supernatural entity known as Oyashiro-sama. Regardless, both Rena and Mion, they were the best friends ever. And when they were coming after me, it wasn't of their own volition. Wait, they weren't the kind of people to sell off their friends, regardless of whether or not they were forced. There's no way such a thing like being possessed by Oyashiro-sama could happen in reality. Then, did the real Ren and Mion come after me? What was I thinking? What a silly, dumb idea. Having beaten down both Rena and Mion, I'm still debating if they were the real ones or fakes. There was no real or fake. Only the reality that was before me. Rena and Mion were sprawled out at my feet. That was the only truth. I was only trying to twist the facts to my benefit, that I had beaten my friends to death. No matter how I spun it, it wouldn't change reality. Rena and Mion were both dead. It felt like there was a crack in the dam of strange emotions I was holding back. It felt like my calm state, which was nothing more than a bluff, receded, and in that opening, insanity was leaking out. I killed them. I killed them. Rena and Mion. I killed them. You did what you had to do. The doorbell rang again. The unrelenting echo pulled me back into a state of composure once again. I didn't have a moment to spare. Quickly, I needed to get away. I didn't want to die. I would uncover everything after that. The identity of whoever or whatever had pushed me this far. Even if I had to drink mud and eat grass. I would survive. I would survive. I would definitely survive. I killed Rena for that very reason. I also killed Mion. I went that far just to keep living, so I can't die. For my sake, and for the sake of late Rena and Mion. I have to survive. Oh, boy. I ran toward the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang again as if to urge me on. Behind this single, solitary door, they were there. Keeping quiet, I headed towards the kitchen. Headed towards the back door. Before opening the back door, I put my ear to it and checked for people outside. No one? After I put on my shoes, I opened the door slowly as to not make a sound. There he is, the back door. Oh god, no, no, no. Oh god, oh god, oh god. A piercing voice echoed out. That voice stabbed through me, setting my hair on end. I had to run. Get out of here, Keiichi. One after the other, I felt stuff like rationale and intelligence, those things you use when you have time to spare, spill out of me. I didn't feel any pain from the branches scratching my arms and forearms. My autonomous pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. Probably had no complaints whatsoever. So of course I wouldn't feel fatigue. I just ran, just recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be running like this. There wasn't a thought in my mind about where I was headed. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was, without a doubt, chasing me like my shadow. If I even took one misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. But I didn't turn around. I didn't stop. I ran. At full speed. God. It's so awful. Oh, there's the cicadas. The chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening. Trying to tell me something. And I finally heard it. The wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? Ah. God. Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew. So I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi's chirps. The farther I ran, the farther away the chirping became. And again near them. Why are you all running away? Was it my fault? Was I the one to blame? Then I'll apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now he's the one apologizing. I'm sorry. 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 Felt like only the Higurashi knew. Man. That's so spooky. Can't commentate much. Scary. Ugh. Still no save point, but the smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electric noise, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. What do smokers have to be shoved so far down the corridor where the sun didn't even reach? I recalled hearing that the tax revenue from tobacco was about a tenth of the municipality's revenue. Ugh. We are the most heavily taxed members of the municipality, so I really wish they'd show us a little more respect. Huh? Wait. Hold on, are we in a different perspective right now? Hmm. Why would you discard the 5 manzu there? From death to taxes. Usually, it's the other way around. Haha. It's just decreasing your options. One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with the mahjong magazine called Next Turn. Yeah, this is Oishi-san. You're still in Tenpai because the 5 manzu. You're betting on Haite. Shouldn't you be going into it with a mangan? I don't know how mahjong works. Kuba-chan, look at this spot. They all discarded a 5 manzu. It's a safe tile. You'd hate it if at end game someone was sitting on a tenpai last turn, wouldn't you? Kid let out another groan, put out a cigarette, and took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options? By the way, you can't call Ron with your winning tile in that Haite. What? Why's that? Just then I heard a voice coming down the hall. Are you here, Oishi-san? You have a call coming from a civilian. Uh-oh. Oh no! Dude, he's dead! Keiichi's freaking dead! Oh my god. Well, ain't that something? Well, see you soon. He's so dead. Oh my god, he's so dead. But why can't he call Ron on it? Hold on for a second, Oishi-san. He's so dead. The man sitting in the seat Oishi-san was headed towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line, from a payphone. Oh, why thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Oishi-san. Who is it? Oishi-san. Hello. If it isn't Maibara-san. Why, good evening. From the tone of Maibara-san's voice, I already knew he was in a predicament. It was the first time Maibara had phoned me. He was calling from a payphone. Please calm down. Did something happen? His voice was erratic over the line. He had completely lost his sense of composure. So checking that nobody else could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone. What happened? Ethan, shut up. I'm trying to be sad here, bro. Chill. Calm down, Maibara-san. I can have the local officers head to your location. I'll be there soon, too. I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by people. Even as he was making this call, was he? Maibara-san, you're calling from a payphone right now, right? Where's that payphone? There was no other sounds beside Maibara-kun's voice. It had to be the phone booth. I scratched out a note, thrust it at my colleagues sitting across from me. Hinamizawa phone booth. He understood quickly and hastily started on the internal lines. Calm down, Maibara-san. What is your current situation? It usually wasn't a good idea to tell someone panicking to do so. But this was not the usual case. Maibara-kun didn't get in trouble, get away, and then call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now. Also, he calls him Maibara-kun to himself, but Maibara-san when directly talking to him. So that's like, respect. But telling Maibara-kun right now would just be needlessly causing him to be even more frantic. Maibara-kun wasn't just calling to seek help. He was trying to tell us something more than that. Whatever that was, if I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance. My colleague pushed a note in front of me. There's only one booth in Hinamizawa. Patrol cars on the way. 5 minutes. It's too long. How many officers are in there? 2. Not enough. This is what I imagined. There are quite a few people surrounding Maibara-kun. 5 minutes was too long. Just called the officers stationed in Hinamizawa. Scheduled to be on patrol. They're currently out. It'll be impossible to contact him. God damn. Kuba-chan, bring the car around. Understood. Hello. Oishi-san. Hello. It's alright. I can hear you loud and clear. Something wrong with Maibara-kun. That wasn't a normal coughing sound. Vomiting? Or was it blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured? Maibara-san, the police are on their way. They'll be in a couple of minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? Maibara-san. I could hear on the other end of the call that he was having a coughing fit. Oh, the worst possible situation popped into my head. Maibara-san, who is the culprit? How many are there? I thought... At first the culprit was human. Dies. Couldn't tell if that was a cough or vomiting. Are you alright? Mayabara-san thought that the culprit was a person and not a Yashiro-sama's curse. Up until right now. But I guess in the end... It was an intense bout of coughing and vomiting. But I guess Yashiro-sama does exist. No, he's... here. Mayabara-san, please, just calm down. I'd been thinking it was strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and run. But it just sticks to me like a shadow. But slowly, so slowly. Digging itself into my back. Mayabara-san, are they right now, perhaps? Right behind you? Behind me. Right behind me. Please, Mayabara-san, I can tell you're scared. But please, who is it that's right behind you? I can't just look behind me. If I do, I understand that you're scared, but please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who is behind you, Mayabara-san? Right after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. Followed was a nightmarish sound. Mayabara-san, it couldn't be that you're clawing out your own throat. There was no answer, but I could hear something like scratching. Oh. There was a bang, as if something was being hit. Our Barakun had probably chopped the receiver. Hear a groan and vomiting over on the other end, and a repeating abnormal noise. Hello? Hello? Mayabara-san? Hello? I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end, but I couldn't help but shout. At that moment I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. From the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself? Was he talking to someone there? Hello, Mayabara-san. Rather than whispering, it was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. I focused my senses trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Beep. Suddenly, the line went dead. Did he use up his time? Because it was a payphone. Because it cut out so abruptly. Last thing he came out ever so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san, car is good to go. Oishi-san, it was... I'm sorry. Oishi-san. That's what he was repeating over and over. He said, I'm sorry. Oh, God. How'd you know? How'd you know? What the heck? I had a gut feeling. There was no longer a need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of Higurashi spilling in from the open window. Oh. Should have been able to hear them this entire time. Just wasn't paying attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Because now Keiichi is among them. They're trying to tell me something. Only the Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. Oh. July 1983. In Hinamizawa, a remote village near Shishibone City, there was a murder involving 2 female students. Suspect is Keiichi Marabara, aged 1X. Suspect called over his 2 female classmates, Ren Ryugu, Mio, and Sonozaki, to his house and beat them to death with a metal bat. What? What? That's not what happened. The scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the 2nd floor of his house. Inside of the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood. There were signs of a struggle with the victims. In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. The entryway, shoe rack, and wall had evidence of being impacted by strong blunt force. It's believed to have been the same bat as the murder weapon. With no traces of blood, it is believed the destruction occurred before the murders. It's possible that the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. Oh my god, I'm so mad. What? Oh my god. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back, thrown aside. It's hard to believe that this had a connection to the struggle with the victims, and thus the reason for this remains unknown. The kitchen, the garbage bag was torn apart, and its contents were spread out on the floor. Garbage was strewn about in the surrounding area, and handprints believed to belong to the suspect were discovered. It is believed that the suspect had for some reason taken out the garbage and struck it with his fists. The reason for this remains unknown. Oh my god. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge. The words, "Was there a needle?" was written on it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case, the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered. Though the garage door was functional, it had been left open ever since the victim moved in. The garage door was found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown. Oh my god! This is so horrible. The suspect fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinamzani local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of discovery, the suspect was unconscious and critically conditioned. He was rushed to the local hospital for treatment, but he did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. Oh, the results of the autopsy indicate immediate cause of death to have been hypovolemic shock. It was determined that the victim had clawed out his own throat with his fingernails, and the results of bleeding caused his death. With similarity to the death of Onikakushi the prior week, the police believe that there would be a connection and have opened an investigation. However, due to the wishes of local authorities, it will be a confidential investigation. Due to the abnormal nature of his death, it was suspected that drugs were involved, but as with Tomitaka-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, the case remains being treated as an act committed on impulse. However, with the several accounts of the suspect's bizarre behavior leading up to the incident, it is possible that this was premeditated. Separated from his group of friends, isolations, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was observed displaying aggressive behavior as well as talking to himself at school. His classmates actually heard portions of what he was saying. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to these circumstances, the police have begun an investigation on the possibility that this was not a crime on impulse, but instead planned several days in advance. Oh my god, no. Afterwards, a note was found in the suspect's room he had written himself. Yes! Thank you. The note was written in 2 sheets where B5 college ruled notebook had been torn in half, and he was trying to conceal it, stuck with it hidden behind a clock on a wall. Contents were as written in the appendix. Police believed to have been strongly related to the incident. Yes, obviously. The police changed their line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive or premeditated? With the situation unclear and no further developments, the case has been labeled as unresolved. Wow. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The following year, the note was not written on 2 halves of B5 paper from 2 separate sheets. There was originally a single sheet of B5 paper. In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out. What? Judging from the size of the letters, the missing section estimated to be 2 or 3 lines. It's highly probable that the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging from the traces of large quantities of cell phone tape being stuck to the back of the clock, suspicion that something other than a note was stuck here had arisen. Oh my god! The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have a connection with the incident. Onikakushi. He underwent voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damages to the note. Oh my god. Suspect's note. Oh, can I click now? No. I, Keiichi Maibara, am in fear for my life. Do not know why they are after my life. The only thing I do know is that has to do with Oyashido-sama's curse. Ren and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. Everything below this has been ripped out. Oh my god. That's awful. It's from the second sheet. Everything above has been ripped out. I have no idea why it's become like this. If you're reading this, then I'm probably already dead. Though the only difference may be that the presence of or lack of a body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. It's my only desire. So they literally cut out everything regarding the medicine or the shot. Oh my god. What the heck? Wow. That's it then, huh? Higurashi when they cry. Wow. New scenario has been unlocked. All cast review section, extra, whatever. Ah, Keiichi's dead. Keiichi's dead. Oh. God. I think that was really good. It was really sad. God. What are you guys feeling, huh? Like, I cannot even imagine how terrified he must have felt. Well, I can, but, you know. It's something that few people ever feel in their life, you know? But when you feel it, you never forget it. All cast review thing is also important. Yeah, I'm gonna make another stream in between this and chapter 2, or I'm gonna go into the extra and just read all of the, I'm gonna go into the, and read all the tips and all this junk. But not right now. Now is big sad boy hours, where we contemplate what just happened, take it in, all that junk. But, you know what I'm also gonna do? I'm going to go on the Discord after this, and we're gonna get the Discord together and watch the first chapter in the anime, and then we can point out the differences and such. I think that would be pretty fun. But man, time for me to spew about how I love Higurashi. Higurashi came into my life when I was like 14 or 15. And dude, it struck such a chord with me. It struck such a chord. I related so much to Keiichi, like the fear he was feeling in his life. I felt that so much. Like, so I was like, man, Keiichi gets me type of feeling. Man. I love it, I really do. All the other arcs didn't really have much to do with Keiichi as much, so I didn't really like them as much. But Keiichi is my boy, and I'll love him forever. Okay, deep breath. Everything okay. Okay. So, what'd you guys rate it? I rate 10 out of 10. I rate 10 out of 10. What would you guys rate? So, yeah, this is the end then. I'll see you guys Discord or next stream or whatever else. So yeah, 10, very, very good rating. East, very good. Okay. Goodbye. Hopefully you have a fun and not paranoid filled rest of your day or night. Bye-bye.